to the bottom of the bottle. I've been drowning, I've been floating away. Every other dollar that I got in bed, I'm probably winning it away. I'm okay, I ain't liking it, babe. I don't even wanna talk, I'm just smoking my haze. I've been stuck in my ways, I've been stuck in for days. I've been staring at the clock as the radio plays. I'm enslaved. Yeah. Rolling another, I'm stuck in my seat for the whole control of my speech. Yeah, I've been trying to get off this couch for a minute and a whole week. No kidding, I'm skinny, I cannot eat. Got a million cause that depend on me. Yeah, every friend in my family, from a girl, every fan I meet myself. I'm too on till I'm too off. Come down to make new thoughts, like jumping off of that rooftop. Oh my God, but when I do nothing to make moves based on my mood drops. Like who's lost? Like who's lost? It's yo, stop steadily killing me, running my brain full of shame. I don't wanna lose it. Full of stage, trying to find my pain. I see the sun coming out of that rain. My team, really my team. I'ma never slow down, I'ma never behave. Stuck inside this prison, inside this cage, it's taking over. Yeah, I'm a slave for you. Slave for you. Ripping harder, more less. Never stop, no rest. Till the stress is breath in my chest. Till the diamonds wrapping my neck. Progress to a god from a god. Mess, hopeless, more tests. More blessed. Dug deep down, trying to find my best. Find a beast, had to kill a conquest. I'm next. I'm too on till I'm too off. Come down, make new thoughts. Like jumping off of that rooftop. Oh my God, but when I do nothing to make moves based on my mood drops. Like who's lost? Like who's lost? It's yo, stop steadily killing me, running my brain full of shame. I don't wanna lose it. Full of stage, trying to find my pain. I see the sun coming out of that rain. My team, really my game. I'ma never slow down, I'ma never behave. Stuck inside this prison, inside this cage, it's taking over. Yeah, I'm a slave for you.
To dream, believe in strength. Now I'm the only one, only one. I was an ordinary boy until I broke the rules. My life destroyed, life destroyed. Until I walk awake, scream my mind, I shout, the ground shakes. How much can I take? My mind will break. Will it break? Can I take? Can I be your superhero? Superhero.
Alright everybody, we'll be back in just 30 seconds. I hope you guys are having a great Saturday. I know you've been waiting for this one. And after the countdown, we shall return. What's going on, everybody? Thank you so much for those of you who are going to be watching this, whether it be now or later on this evening. It's been a rough one for me the last couple of days. I'm a huge Bray Wyatt guy, as you all see on my Twitter profile. Why I had the picture. I love Bray Wyatt. He was just that character that was so different. I mean, the guy was just so creative, and they didn't really even scratch the surface with his creativity yet. Yeah, we got a lot when he was the Eater of Worlds, and we got quite a bit with the Fiend, but he was in a process of telling a new story, which that story didn't really fully develop, and now we're going to be left with fantasy bookings in our head of where WWE was actually going to go with that. And it sucks because from the news I was hearing, Bray Wyatt was actually set to come back next month. They were getting ready to clear him because everything seemed to be going fine. And they were ready to clear him to come back. They actually had plans in motion for Bray Wyatt to return next month, which would be in a couple weeks. Excuse me. Just had dinner. But it just, I was in shock. I really was. I know people are like, oh, it's just a fictional character. Oh, blah, blah, blah. It's still a human being. And apparently a human being that was loved by so many people. Everybody all over social media has been posting nothing but how they feel and the love they had for Bray. A lot more than Terry Funk, let me tell you. It is a landslide between Terry Funk, respect to him, of course, prayers, but it was a landslide between Terry Funk and Bray Wyatt of who they actually cared about more. And now WWE will never know what they had in him, and it just sucks. That really does. Because when he came back at Extreme Rules, that was like one of the coolest moments that they ever could have done. And then he had those few weeks where you really saw a side of him where he was human. It was different. There wasn't all the magic, the mumbo jumbo, and all the stuff Vince McMahon likes to do. It was something where, whoa, where are they going with this? He's actually like humanized for the first time since he was the Eater of Worlds. You know, and then it's just like, okay, I can get down with this. But then they brought it back in Uncle Howdy, and they started doing Alexa Bliss in there, and the magic started happening again, and it's just kind of like, yeah, some of the sights were cool to see, but it was not near as good as The Fiend. Not near as good. I still remember when The Fiend debuted against Finn Balor at SummerSlam. WWE produced that debut on pay-per-view perfectly. They did it perfectly building up to his Raw debut. They did it perfectly going into this match with Finn Balor. And they did it perfectly with the result of the match with him going over Finn Balor. And I don't think the match was very long. And it's like they just had a string of momentum with him. The Fiend could have been really something special. But as they usually do, they overplay it, they overhype it, and just go on rinse, repeat, rinse, repeat, rinse, repeat. They never have anything to where it stays special for a long period of time. They get in these storylines, and it's just like a record spinning over and over and over again. And it's like, hello, why don't you sprinkle something new here, sprinkle something new there, and let's get it a little fresh for the audience. And that's just how they do things. Then they were going back and forth between the Eater Worlds, the Fiend, Bray Wyatt, Firefly Funhouse. It's a shame that whenever they got something going with Bray, whenever they did, it's like they got themselves so set on one thing. Bray's the type of character that needs to evolve, that needs to keep evolving, or if once it loses direction, the whole momentum's gone. And that's what kept happening to him over and over and over again. The Eater Worlds is one of the coolest gimmicks that I ever seen. one of the coolest things I've ever seen, considering what he was in NXT. And then he comes to the main roster with that. I'm like, wait. What the fuck's going on here? This is something totally different and out of left field for Vince McMahon even. I mean, he hasn't done a character like that since The Undertaker, and it's just kind of like, whoa, what do we got going on here? And it was one of the coolest things I ever saw. And when they are actually on the same page, look what happened. We had some of the coolest moments with the Wyatt family and the Shield. Do you remember? I remember that Monday Night Raw like down to a T. When the three of them came out, who was it? Luke Harper, Eric Rowan, and Bray Wyatt. They came out to stare down Seth, Dean, now Jon Moxley, and Roman Reigns. That whole arena, went fucking crazy. Just for the six of them in the ring, just staring at each other. Or were they in the ring? Or maybe the Wyatt family was on the ramp staring. That's right. The Wyatt family was on the ramp way, going down to the ring, staring at them, the Shield in the ring. That was just some of the coolest shit. And then when you had the audience so into it, that just made it special. Now, I remember, I think it was the Wyatt family debut, if I'm not mistaken, was against Chris Jericho in that steel cage match with the season premiere Raw, I believe. And then Chris went up to the top of the cage and just kind of looked like this. Fuck it, I'm going to jump, and he jumped. And then the Wyatt family came out and attacked and beat the shit out of him. I remember that very vividly. And then another cool spot with the Wyatt family is with Daniel Bryan, when he actually made him think that he was actually joining the Wyatt family. And that turned out to be a charade the whole entire time. But Bryan really had them believing he was one of them. He really did. Excuse me. Do take a quick sip of water. But he really had them believing that. And then it turns out that he was against them the whole time. Much like the next thing with Randy Orton. I was kind of like disappointed a little bit when we found out he was against them and screwed him from the inside. I mean, yeah, the moment was cool when he burned down the Wyatt family house, his sister Abigail and all that. But Randy was looking badass with them. And I'm just kind of like, I kind of hope they keep this going with Randy Orton and the Wyatt family. And of course, it wasn't a very long-term situation. But it was very cool, the moments that they gave. But I think Randy and Bray really could have done some very sadistic stuff if they would have kept them together longer. But WWE, that's just what they do. They don't want to really explore outside the box. I mean, look at the House of Horrors. I mean, sometimes I will go back and watch that, and I'm just kind of like, maybe it wasn't horrible. I mean, there's a little cool stuff thrown in between. But the thing I didn't get was, I remember on Twitter, they were trying to get people to tell them, hey, what would you like to see in a House of Horrors? People were giving him all sorts of ideas in typical WWE fashion. Not fucking one of them was used. And I'm just like, what was the point? They actually pretend to care a little bit for a moment, and then when we all start giving them ideas and suggestions, you go to watch the match and you're just like, what? What the fuck was that all about? My idea wasn't used. I remember a couple other ideas that were actually really good. I can't tell you right off the top of my head, but I do remember a couple of them like, oh yeah, that would be fucking awesome. And WWE didn't use them. None. But Randy and Bray did the best they possibly could. I still remember that spot in the House of Horrors where I think it was the refrigerator. Was it the refrigerator that Bray threw on top of Randy Orton, and Bray went to the arena first. Okay, I've never been under a refrigerator before, so I can't tell you how heavy they actually are. But part of me is kind of like, unless it was one of those really light refrigerators, okay, I could see Randy getting up from that. But if it was one of those heavy ass ones, I'm just kind of like, how the hell did this happen? How they managed that? Or when the camera went away, someone picked it up and Randy got up and just went on over to the arena. And of course, Bray lost. That's another thing that I just didn't understand. They would build his character up so great with the promos, everything Bray was doing. But when it came time for him to win a big match, he didn't win a big match. Sure, he did a couple times. He did get the Universal Championship. We all know where that debacle went with Braun Strowman, but it's just one of those things where maybe he didn't care. Maybe Bray Wyatt didn't care about all the losses he got, because obviously they kept doing it to him over and over and over again. I mean, we go up even farther with Matt Hardy with the Ultimate Deletion match. Bray was built to go over, but then he lost again. Then got thrown into the Lake of Reincarnation and came back as whatever the hell that was. It's basically the same thing, but he had that apron on or whatever that was, looking like the Texas Chainsaw Massacre, just without the mask and the chainsaw. Everything else was the same. But that's just, there's so many different faces of Bray, though. The guy was just so creative. It's just a shame that he didn't really have a memorable... Oh, what the fuck? Sorry about that notification. That scared the hell out of me. But he didn't really have any memorable world title ones. I mean, he did get a victory over John Cena, which I was shocked that he actually did. But he did have a lot of little kids singing that he got the whole world in his hands. He got the whole wide world in his hands. But in a very creepy, creepy, creepy voice. And John was just like, what the fuck do I do? I mean, he looked clueless as all hell. And then he lost. So I was like, oh my God, Bray Wyatt got to win, everybody. But you see, it was just those kind of moments that Bray wanted to create. Moments that you will remember from years on down the road. The only other big match that he had with The Undertaker, I didn't really like that one. Excuse me, maybe because Taker was not really in shape. You could tell by the belly, and that coming out once a year was not really helping him stay in ring shape. But they did the best they could. It was a lot better than Taker and Bill Goldberg, without a shadow of a doubt. Bray Wyatt and Undertaker was. But, that was just one of those things where cool build up. Very, very cool. Match didn't really deliver. And finish. He lost. But that's the thing. Like I was saying just a few minutes ago, he really didn't care, I don't think, about if he won or lost, or if he had a title. I really don't think he cared about any of that stuff. He was very story-driven. In the promos, in the characters in the Funhouse, the characters he created were all parts of images that were going on in his brain. Those are all different places that he was bringing to life of his imagination. And of course, he had the best producing company in the world to bring that to life, which really helped his case. And it was just a lot of cool stuff that today, if we wanted to, I'm sure a lot of you guys would go back and rewatch stuff. I'm sure everybody, and I did it too, everybody's mother and their fucking brother went back and watched Bray Wyatt's debut. If not last night, today. I bet if I go on there and look, those views like tripled from where they were a week or two ago. We all thought he was actually returning. But he is a very, Very special dude. Very kind-hearted. I feel for JoJo, man. That's gotta suck for her. That really does. They're both so young. 36 years old. Younger than me. I'm 40 and he's 36 and I'm just like, oh my god. That's just crazy. That really is. And I didn't want to be like all the other geeks rushing on there to get an extra viewer or two. Sorry if that hurts anybody's feelings, but a lot of you with dead channels were just using Bray Wyatt just to get a couple of subscribers. I know. I know who some of those people are. I'm not a dummy. Because most of them didn't speak a word about fucking Bray for months, and then all of a sudden, oh, I gotta get on the keyboard, everybody. I have a chance to get a few new viewers. I mean, that's all they were thinking about. They didn't care how the family was feeling. They didn't care how JoJo was probably feeling. I mean, he has kids. They're gonna grow up without a father. And maybe eventually they meet a new father, but they won't be Bray Wyatt. They won't be their dad. And that's terrible. That really is, and that's why I was having such a hard time dealing with it. Not because it was just a fictional character. Come on, dude, it's just a fictional character. There is nobody you see every day. Sorry if I had some empathy for other people in his life. And just seeing the outpouring and how everybody, even people on AEW side that worked with Bray Wyatt were all mentioning something about Bray Wyatt. Chris Jericho even with Fozzy is doing a Bray Wyatt tribute. So it's just he's a special dude. He's a special dude that a lot of people adored, a lot of people loved, and a lot of people are going to severely miss him. And I'm sure Tony Khan's probably heartbroken about it because he may have got a chance to work with him. Who knows? He's only 36. I know he was a guy Tony was really looking after. You know, probably wondering, would he ever give me a chance? Who knows? But it just sucks because this last run is not something that we could really hold our hats on. It really isn't. I mean, but I'm not going to shit on it. There is some stuff that they could have done better. But maybe it's because of his health. Maybe there's something we didn't know about. Before people knew he had COVID or whatever illness he was going through earlier this year, maybe that's why we didn't see him much on TV. Because obviously, from all the reports coming out, WWE did have plans for Bray, but maybe they just didn't want to take the chance. So we didn't get to see the whole faction come together, whoever the last few members were going to be. Now, I am seeing reports that people want Uncle Howdy to return to finish the story. That's not going to make any fucking sense. Please stop, Ringside News. You're a joke. Ringside News is a fucking joke, and they're dumbasses. I don't care. And then they pay for a yellow check mark. Do you know how expensive that is? What morons? What, just to show that they're a little more credible? They're not. It's just theory. They don't have any credible sources. People are like, oh, yeah, they do. Yeah, No, they don't. A lot of their stuff is opinionated. It's not actual facts. So do your guys self a favor. Don't believe Ringside News. They're a joke. They just like ruining people. And then coming up with stupid scenarios like that. Oh, Uncle Howdy should return to WWE TV and finish the story. What good is the story going to do without Bray? It's going to be fucking retarded. No. You had a great moment with LA Knight paying tribute to Bray Wyatt and how they left the show, especially when they did the Fiend where the lights would dim out. Excuse me. That was awesome. You don't need to touch this again. Just let it be a good memory. We had a beautiful memory last night. of how they pay tribute to Bray, just leave it. Don't add anything else. Don't put Alexa Bliss and Uncle Howdy in something together. We don't want to see it. Let a good memory stay a good memory. That's all I ask. Excuse me, and that's all a lot of people ask. Let it stay a good memory. Please, and thank you. Jesus, that fucking hard to understand. Just let it stay a good damn memory. I don't want to see any more ringside news coming up with these stupid fucking scenarios, or I'm gonna mute them. Uncle Howdy. Fuck you. What the fuck is wrong with them? I'm sorry for Bo Dallas. I really am. You know, he was finally gonna get something going on WWE again, but it's not gonna work. If you want to keep Bo with the company, find something else for him to do. He can't keep doing Uncle Howdy. I'm sorry. It's not going to work. It's just going to piss people off. Don't give those ideas to anybody, please, and thank you. It's just fucking retarded. But other than that, that was a disheartening thing I saw earlier. But man, I'm really going to miss Bray Wyatt. I really am. Despite Vince and company not booking him to where he went over a lot, which it does suck. I mean, he should have won way more matches than he did. He really should have. And the fact that it always seemed like they just wanted him as a promo to sell a match, to make the pay-per-view a little more special, but they never had any intentions of giving it Bray Wyatt a long winning streak. It sucks. The guy who could talk that good to make anybody believe in any words that come out of his mouth and turn him into a believer. Bray could say, oh, the broom is going to be part of the Wyatt family. And he would actually get people behind it. That's how good Bray Wyatt is. That's how good he was at telling his story and convincing people to fucking... I mean, he had a story of a fucking cult. That's what the whole Wyatt family was in the beginning. You know, he was a cult leader. I mean, the guy pulled that off perfectly, and he was a dick. Just why WWE didn't capitalize on giving him a long title run, well, I will never know. I really don't. That's just Vince McMahon. He only saw dollar signs in the merchandise, the promos, but Vince didn't, I don't think, really believed in him as a wrestler. And Bray could really wrestle. When he was given a chance, Bray did fine. Sure, a lot of people I remember when Bray was in the ring, he's too slow. I don't understand his style of wrestling. Blah, 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 blah. That's just who he was. He was a mysterious, mystique-type character. So, a lot of his matches would start slow and build up and get better. Hey, we got somebody in the chat here. I feel like when he returned, he was over with the crowd, but they put too much work into promos and visuals. He truly was the genius of this era. We truly lost a mastermind in wrestling. Yes, we did, and I'm trying to look at more of the positives, because he's the type of guy that would want the show to go on. He wouldn't want us all feeling sad and not being happy and doing stuff with their lives and supporting the shows. But it was amazing how everybody, like fucking everybody on Twitter from both companies, I was getting a little worried with AEW for a little bit there because nobody was saying anything. And I'm just like, okay, I see everybody in WWE coming out to support Bray. That's great. But what about all the ones on AEW that worked with Bray? When's this coming? And as soon as I Send a tweet, guys. As soon as I send a tweet, come on AEW. What you can't be bothered about Bray Wyatt? Do better. Then Saraya came out with something. Nyla Rose came out with something. Everybody was fucking coming out with something, and I'm just like, why couldn't we do this on our own? You know, it's just like, but Saraya and Nyla Rose Beats were the only two on AEW's side that came out before I said anything. And Nyla never even worked with Bray, I don't think, if I'm not mistaken. And she still had very kind words to say about that. And that was great to see, and especially Saraya. I knew she would. She's cool and down to earth like that. It sucks, man. I've been watching all his highlights and trying to keep positive myself. He really did have the whole world in his hands. Feel his family, man, seriously. I did mention on earlier, I can't imagine how JoJo feels. Because his kids are very young. I don't even think they're more than a couple years old. And that really sucks that they're going to grow up without Bray around. And who knows, usually in those situations, after a couple years, the mother finally finds somebody else. And I've been through it before. I have, and it sucked because no one ever replaces your father. No one. He could be the coolest stepdad in the world. He could be the guy you look up to the most, but they'll never replace dad. They never will. And that's just something anybody else in this world can't. They can't fill that void. There's just no way. That's the difference between blood and being a significant other to your mother. It's not going to work. I mean, I know, like, the situation I was in, he tried. But there's just times where I'm just like, I know you're trying, but you're not my dad. And I can't call you that. I'm sorry. I'm sure I hurt your feelings, but I can't. And I hope that's not what his kids go through. I really don't, but it could happen. You know, she is a beautiful woman. She probably will find somebody else. And, you know, all we could do is just keep his memory alive. And no, he's up there. No, he's up there with Luke Harper. I'm sure those two are finally so happy to see each other once again. And I'm glad I thought of that because I didn't want to do a stream and not even mention Luke Harper. Oh my goodness. We lost him too soon too. And now Eric Rowan, poor Eric Rowan. He's the only one, him and Braun Strowman are the only ones left. And it's like they can never reform a Wyatt family again. They're going to have to do it on their own. They're going to have to do their careers on their own. And I hope they succeed. I really do. I don't want to see anyone fail. But it won't mean as much as when they were all a group together. Yeah, Brody Lee gone soon too. Rest in peace. Yes, indeed. And I do kind of feel for Terry Funk. Because I don't mean to sound morbid. I really don't. But no one seems to give a flying fuck about Terry Funk. Right now, it's just the way it is. When Cody came out there on SmackDown, I'm like, Cody, just say fuck the script. You're going to talk about who you really want to talk about and bring up Bray Wyatt. We do like Terry Funk. Yes, he's done a lot with ECW and WCW and every promotion. I'm not knocking the guy. But as far as the popularity with the crowd, no one gave a crap about Terry Funk. I've barely seen any videos in regards to him. It's all been Bray. So why not bring up Bray? That's why when LA Knight came out, I'm like, oh, thank God. Someone is going to do something very special here. And LA Knight, we're going to end with this, guys. LA Knight was a class act. The way he ended that show, whether it was his idea or WWE's idea or maybe both, I don't know. But the way they had the lights come out with the noise before the Fiend would show up, that was awesome. And then all the Fireflies came out, and LA Knight standing on the apron. And then he has these wings coming out from behind him. Whoever put that up there, I don't know what the fuck that was. But that was pretty cool to see. And then they had the lantern in the middle of the ring. Awesome. Awesome. LA Knight had a lot of really heartwarming things to say about Bray Wyatt. And like I mentioned during SmackDown, that match is what made the Yeah movement. It's not that Terry Funk is not to be remembered. I'm truly sad for his loss. Also, and I feel he deserved more of a tribute, but it's the modern era. Most of the audience, mainly children, mostly know Bray. You're absolutely correct, and I think that's why WWE put more of a focus on Wyndham, because they know half the people aren't going to know who Terry Funk is. A lot of the new viewers that they've received over the last year, they'll be like, Terry who? Never heard of the guy. So I get that's why they had Cody come out there to do that, just so they didn't seem like assholes. You know what I mean? To have at least one segment for him. It was like one segment Terry Funk and the rest for all Bray. What a tribute show for the both of them. But see, I'm just kind of trying to bring some humor to the situation. Don't want anyone to be all depressed going into Wembley tomorrow. God forbid Tony Khan. God forbid, none of us want to be sad going into Wembley. You know, you got your 80,000 people there. But, oh, man. It's going to be cool, though. I really want to see Jericho, what he pulls out of this with Fozzy. Is he going to do a song? Is he going to just let the band play in the background and he just does a speech? I don't know. But that's what he says he's planning on doing. It's a small tribute to Bray Wyatt at All In. So that should be very, very cool to see. But going back to LA Knight, mastermind with the way he sent off Bray Wyatt. That was really, really cool. The thing that really came to me the most was when he said, a wise man once told me, run. I'm just like, oh my God. Like, and he did that like so seriously. He's like, a wise man once told me, run. You know, he did it just like that. I'm just like, whoa, Mr. Knight there, man, going to the dark side. Okay, I could be down with this. But, you know, WWE's not going to do that. But, hey, if it was for one night, that was pretty fucking cool, the way LA Knight portrayed himself there. And he even said, you know, Bray was preparing him for everything. Even though they were enemies and they were down each other's throats, literally, because I remember whether it was Bray or Uncle Howdy had him kidnapped, quote unquote. He was preparing him for every situation. And he made LA Knight come out of that looking like a hero. I mean, look at Knight now. How over that fucking man is. And it's all thanks to Bray Wyatt. And it sucks that WWE doesn't really have the type of talent right now, currently. I'm sorry, they don't. That they have no one to blame but themselves. But honestly, they don't have another Bray Wyatt, which will never be duplicated, to get someone over like that. To where months down the line, people get behind him and they're still behind him. And he will always have that image with that match with Bray. And that's always going to be in his back pocket. That really is. And that's going to hopefully get him to the next level. After that tribute, I hope that gets LA Knight to the next level, because I want to see him succeed as well. LA Knight is truly the people's champ. Already he will be another one we talk about if he unfortunately passes away too early, that deserve to push and run, give what he deserves before it's too late. Exactly, because you never know. WWE needs to look. Bray was 36 years old. They can't just go on cruise control with everything. They can't. And that's what they do. They get comfortable with something and they just do it over and over. Look at the fucking Judgment Day. Every fucking show now. Every fucking show. And I'm just like, I am getting so sick of them. I am. I'm surprised LA Knight beat Finn Balor. I was like, holy fuck. We actually got a credible win for LA Knight because Finn Balor is used on every fucking show. And he beat him clean. No Judgment Day interference. I was just like, what? No Rhea? No Priest? Nobody? So maybe that means they're actually going to finally push the megastar? I hope. I subscribe, man. I love your opinions on all this. Hey, I appreciate it. When I'm done here, I'll go on YouTube and find you and I'll subscribe back to you. Always do. Whoever subscribes, always subscribe back. Because honestly, we should be here to help each other. There are a few people that I do have an issue with that I'm not going to do that for. Because can't do it for everybody. But hey, I love you guys and I appreciate you guys coming in here because believe it or not, if you have a chat that's really moving through a live stream, YouTube really looks at that too and they will push the video. So I appreciate it. Thank you so much. It means a lot. Really does. Thank you. Excuse me. But I really do think this could be the time finally for LA Knight. He seemed to have got the move correct. That's how many times in a row? Twice? 2 times in a row where he would run and jump on a turnbuckle and then throw somebody over. He did. He nailed it. He nailed it Friday. Not one slip up, nothing. You going to watch the Wembley event tomorrow? Of course. AEW's biggest show ever. I'm definitely going to be watching it. I want to see what the fucking stadium looks like as well. And my boy JD is there with Jesse. So maybe we'll see them on TV. I don't know. I don't know where they're sitting. But should be a fun time. But LA Knight did the move correctly. So no more LA botch. I know you guys on Twitter had a field day with that one. Oh, LA botched the interview. LA botched the fucking move. LA's buried. Yes, I was actually hearing LA Knight is buried. He's not. Obviously, WWE knows this is new. He's not perfect. So, hey, they gave him another shot and he nailed it. So good on him. I'm from the UK and Wembley is an awesome stadium. Capacity is 90. I think they're at, what did it say? 80,500 or something? Because WrestleMania was 80,100. I may be a little off with the numbers, but I believe that's where they're at right now. I don't know if they sold any more. It's very possible. They were talking about it all week. Hey, we still have a few tickets available, so maybe the number went up. I know Tony's going to come out there and announce it and say, thank you for 80, what was it, 85? Thank you for 82,000. You know, they'll embellish it a little bit. They will. UK fans are crazy. You surely enjoy it. Yes, I love when wrestling goes overseas. Why? Because they make us look like shit. Because with the United States, the thing I hate the most, too many people are worried about recording the damn fucking thing and getting views for their YouTube channel or their Twitter page or whatever social media platform they have because they can't get fucking views on their own. Because they got to use wrestling just to keep their little channel alive. Instead, they could be there actually showing some enthusiasm, actually making you feel like us at home want to actually go. It's like, oh, why the hell should I fucking go? Remember, was it Corpus Christi? Remember how silent they fucking were? Why the hell would I want to fucking go? I wouldn't. I remember that Raw. Oh, Corpus Christi, man. Every time they go there, I just want to roll my eyes and just be like 3 fucking hours of nobody saying A fucking word. A whole fucking word. Oh no, America has amazing fans. Well, yeah, Philly, Chicago are the GOAT crowds of wrestling. Yes, they are. But Texas, man, I'm sorry. Texas, Corpus Christi, they suck. They're terrible. Really, the whole 3 fucking hours, there's no pop for nobody. It's like, why did you buy tickets? You just go to say, oh, I went to WWE. It's like they were in a Thunderdome. Literally on their hands, on their phones the whole time. It's like, dude, you gonna cheer anybody? You gonna boo anybody? Or you gonna take pictures the whole fucking time? That's why I hate watching it when they go to those cities. Philly and Chicago, yeah. Philly's kind of iffy though, but it all depends on the quality of the show. There's been some times where WWE has been to Philly, and they were dead fucking silent because of some of the shit they were given. Remember Battleground? I think it was Battleground 2017. Oh my lord, oh my lord. They did not give two fucks. The biggest freak out I had in probably the last 5 years is MVP. At the Royal Rumble, my childhood flashed before my eyes. Yeah, MVP. That was a shocker. I wasn't expecting that. So they have done better with the Royal Rumbles as far as when they want to surprise you. But it's got to be they actually want to surprise you. If they don't want to surprise you, they're not going to care. They're not going to put any effort. Because they're a lazy fucking company. Especially when they get a lot of money, do you think they're going to give a shit about you or me or anyone else watching? No. They're going to be like, this is what we're doing, and they're going to like it or not. And that's no way to treat your fans, man. AEW is not perfect either. Tony Khan's kind of doing the same thing. Booking for himself, just like Vince McMahon. But that's another day and another treat. But he's doing it too. Look at the way he booked this show. Would he give us 2 matches? Oh, we'll let the intrigue get it, because we're gonna have Punk versus Samoa Joe 3. It's like Punk versus Samoa Joe 3. Oh my lord. We already got it, Tony. It's like, put forth your effort into creating your WrestleMania. Nothing, not Doc and Joe, not Doc and Punk, but oh my lord. I wonder now if Bo Dallas in the future will have a similar run in WWE. Like Cody Rhodes, I know he's all elite right now, but I'm sure now he's going to get more exposure than ever before. That's a tough one. I don't know what to do with Bo Dallas. I really don't. Especially if they only brought him back to be with Bray. I don't see a very long-lasting future. I really don't. I don't want that for him. He is a very talented guy, but WWE just never seems to get behind him. They don't. I mean, the only thing they really ever got behind was, all you gotta do is believe. That's it. That's the only angle. And the thing that I remember about that angle, that gimmick the most, it's when fucking Sting put him in a Scorpion Death Drop after he said, Sting, all you gotta do is believe. And he just looked at him like, what the fuck? And this put him in a Scorpion Death Drop. That was the end of Bo Dallas. And that happened when the show went off the air, which was hilarious. I'm like, oh my god. But I don't know, man. I don't know, bro. I don't think they do anything with Bo Dallas. I think that's it. Budget cuts are coming, and unfortunately, I think he may be one of them. I don't think they have any direction for him. He came back just to work with Bray, I think, and since he can't, I don't think that anything else is gonna happen through there. But before we get out of here, guys, I know I went on a while, but Bray meant a lot to me, man. He really did, and I loved everything about his character. Now there's a huge void to fill after Bray. There's only one person, in my opinion, that can truly do evil promos. Who would be able to do evil promos? Undertaker's too old, so it can't be him. So who else would they really have? If you say Judgment Day, bro, I'm gonna be like, no, no. I don't want any fucking more Judgment Day. Finn. Oh, you said it. That's okay. It's your opinion. Finn Balor, believe it or not, can do it. He, yeah, I guess he could. But dude, bro, they need to stop doing with this Judgment Day every fucking show. Then maybe I might. Then maybe I'll get behind you some more with Finn Balor. But it's not a terrible answer. It's not. I was gonna say if you say Damian Priest, I'll just be like, what? But oh my lord, guys, oh my lord, Finn Balor, who just took a L from L.A. Knight. Really, bro, I'm sorry, LOL. He's amazing in the indies. When he was Demon, he was truly evil, no joke. I mean, I could see that. It's just the thing with WWE, the thing that really is still in the back of my mind is fucking Smiley Finn, the underwear model. I can't get that picture out of my head because that's what they shoved down our throats for so long. And then it's like, you really want me to take this seriously? This whole Judgment Day shit. When Edge was the one that brought it together. I mean, I still remember Finn Balor coming out there, like the Raquel Rodriguez. And then going like this. What? I mean, WWE with their fucking woes. I'm getting sick of it. It's like, how many wrestlers is going to have a woe? We had Finn Balor, we had Seth Rollins, we got Cody Rhodes. Vince McMahon is just on a woe spree. Yep, WWE ruined his image. You're totally right. Yeah. Underwear model Finn Balor. Unbelievable. And they did that shtick on and on and on and on and on. Over and over and over. I'm just like, holy motherfucking shit. Why don't you just partner Finn Balor with Raquel Rodriguez to bring the Smiley brother and sister together? Why don't we do that? Oh, that's such good shit, pal. I can see Vince McMahon doing something like that. But well, I better not give him any ideas. Because that would just be terrible. That really would. But guys, that's going to be it because I worked all day and I got to work tomorrow. I haven't showered yet. I just came in to eat and get on here right away just so I could finally give you guys my thoughts and let you know how I'm doing. I'm doing better. I am doing better. I know the show must go on. Everything will be okay. WWE is a machine. They're going to survive. They'll be just fine. It's just one of those guys that we're going to miss. It really is. He was a very special cat, was Bray Wyatt. And we'll forever miss him. But WWE, they'll keep his library. You'll be able to watch whatever you want. So don't worry. Anytime you want to be able to watch a Bray Wyatt match, just go to the network on Peacock or go to YouTube. YouTube has everything. So you'll be able to keep the moment alive. But that's everything, guys. On your way out, if you could, please hit the thumbs up. I'd appreciate it, especially those of you who are watching on YouTube or watching on Twitter. I went an hour for everybody, okay? I actually went an hour so you guys could really see where I'm coming from, okay? I hope you enjoyed it. I went an hour for all of you, and I hope I entertained you. It was great to find you on YouTube, sir. Good night, man. Thanks for talking. May Bray legacy live on. Peace out, brother. You as well. I haven't said your name because I don't want to fuck it up. Is it Ains? Before you go, please tell me if I'm saying that right. So if I see you again, I'll just say, "Hey, man." I see. I'm thinking Ains. I'm terrible at pronouncing names. But hit me up. Yeah, man. Okay, Ains. All right. Okay, I got you. All right, Ains. Correct. Okay. I don't like messing up anyone's name, whether it's just for YouTube, it's or real names, or especially real names. I hate doing that. But anyways, thank you so much for being here, Ains. I appreciate it. Anyone else who's watching on Twitter, I didn't open my phone to check. I apologize because I'm trying to get you all to realize when you're on fucking Twitter, you've got to hit StreamYard to come over here. I don't know how many times I have to tell everybody. When you are watching for Twitter, I see fucking 300 people, but none of you hit StreamYard. That's why I don't put it on Twitter much, because I'm actually making it too easy for you. Because you can just keep it on the homepage and not even have to click on anything. You're lucky I fucking did this for you. Because the next one's just going to be on YouTube only. All right? I thought I'd be kind because everything going on with WWE this week with all the losses. I thought I'd be kind and share this on Twitter, but don't get too used to it. Don't get too used to it. That's all I'm going to say. But I love you guys. I hope you all have a wonderful, wonderful night. That's going to be it for this live stream and episode 2 of this YouTube exclusive for Beyond the Script. I love you guys. Take care. We'll talk to you soon.